What's up, everybody? Corelogic has come out with their monthly national housing market forecast. So we're going to take a look and see if they've changed their mind about the future of the housing market. Then we're going to take a look at what's happening right here in the DC, Montgomery County, Maryland area, because as you know, if you watch my videos, I am a realtor. I work full-time in this market. So I want to share with you some empirical data from someone who's boots on the ground right now today in May of 2022.
We got boots on the ground, sir.
So let's just dive right in. If you are thinking about moving to DC or Montgomery County, Maryland, and you like our help, just send us an email, we'll set up a Zoom, and we'll get you started. Corelogic's HPI is designed to provide an early indication of home price trends. HPI stands for Home Price Index. This data incorporates more than 40 years of repeat sales transactions for analyzing housing price trends. According to Corelogic, home prices nationwide, including distressed sales, have increased year over year by 20.9% in March 2022 compared with March of 2021. On a month-over-month basis, home prices have increased 3.3% from February of 2022 to March of 2022. The Corelogic HPI forecast indicates that home prices will increase by 1.2% from March 2022 to April of 2022, and on a year-over-year basis by 5.9% from March 2022 to March 2023. What I find so interesting about these numbers is not just the predictions of the close to 6% price appreciation from March to March, but that they every month, because these forecasts come out every month on Corelogic, they get more and more bullish, even though we all think that the market's going to slow down. And I think that's very, very interesting to see when they come up with their numbers month over month. So we're going to keep track of that for next month as well. Don't get me wrong, they're not as bullish as Zillow or some of the other industry insiders, but they do believe that the market will slow down, but yet price appreciation will still be up. Even with this past year's streak of double-digit price increases, annual gains are projected to slow to around 6% by next March, due in part to rising mortgage rates and higher home prices, hampering affordability for some home shoppers. Let's take a look at Corelogic's state and city data as of March of 2022. No states posted an annual decline in home prices. The states with the highest increases year over year were Florida, Arizona, and Tennessee. Take a look at this list of the top 10 states with the highest price increase over the last year. If you live in one of these 10 states, definitely comment below and let us know what's happening in real time where you are. I always think it's really important to talk to people that are local within these markets to really get a feel for what's happening. As for specific cities, these large cities continue to experience price increases in March, with Phoenix leading the way. The West and the South seem to definitely have been doing better than here in the Northeast, but I think we've all done really well all across the country. Corelogic also takes a look at which markets are at risk of the biggest home price decline. So let's take a look at that as well. The Corelogic Market Risk Indicator, or the MRI, a monthly update of the overall health of different markets across the country, predicts that the following places are at most risk of a price decline in the next 12 months. 2 cities in Arizona take the top 2 spaces, followed by Connecticut, Washington, and Hawaii. Anybody live in any of these places? We would love to hear from you. The Washington Post just came out with an article last week titled, "Rising Rates Will Cool the Housing Market, but a Crash is Unlikely." So let's take a look at this article, and then after that, we'll go into more specifics of what's happening here in the DC area and what I see with boots on the ground. In this article, Alan Sloan writes that he thinks that even though house prices are going to stop rising rapidly and may even fall a bit, we are not going to have a massive sustained price drop. He does say that rising interest rates and rising home prices are making some buyers pause because they simply can't afford to buy anymore. And this will slow the market down. He writes that obviously, if you keep jacking up the prices of homes by double digits and combining that with sharply higher mortgage rates, you get fewer and fewer eligible buyers. As a result, we don't see people lining up to bid on homes the way they did a few months ago. That's why I don't think that the double-digit annual growth in house prices since the start of 2020 can possibly continue. And he's not the only one who thinks this way. Lawrence Yun, the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, said in an emailed statement, price growth will steadily decelerate, where year-over-year annual home price gains will look quite normal at 5% by the end of the year. Other insiders like Len Kiefer, Freddie Mac's deputy chief economist, also believe that price appreciation will slow down. I think we're at the most pivotal part of the housing market since the aftermath of the Great Recession about a decade ago, Kiefer says. If we're not in a period of permanently high inflation, then the days of 10% annual growth are coming to an end. The one thing that they all agree on is that this is not like 2008 with the bubble bursting and the market crashing. We've got legitimate mortgage lenders these days rather than the predators we saw during the bubble. We've also got borrowers who put down payments of 20% or so, giving them a serious financial stake in their homes and the financial ability to weather price downturns. And I agree with him. Even though the Federal Reserve keeps raising rates to fight inflation, I still don't see a crash coming. A slowdown? Yes. A price correction? Most likely, and most likely sooner rather than later. But a complete crash? No. Sloan ends his article with his opinion of the housing market. He says that, yes, the days of rapidly rising home prices are drawing to an end, but we're not looking at a great recession-like implosion or the steep drop that we've seen so far this year in U.S. stocks and bonds. If you're rushing out to buy a home today because you're hoping to turn a big, quick profit, you're likely to be disappointed. But if you're thinking long-term and buying a home to have a stake in our economy and be an owner rather than a renter, the value of your equity will likely grow gradually, even if home prices rise only modestly over the years, and you will probably do just fine. I read you this quote from him because he definitely says what I've been saying all along, that if you can afford to buy a house today and you are planning on staying there for some years to come, you will be just fine if you look at the history of the housing market and as it ebbs and flows throughout time. So now let's take a look at what's happening right here in my local market. I'm going to give you 3 examples of homes this past week. One that had a price reduction, one that sold just slightly over the list price, but with only one offer, and then one that had 17 offers and went way above list price. All 3 of these houses are in Montgomery County, Maryland, right outside of DC. And they're all good houses, but they just go to show you that this market is not just throwing a sign on your house and expecting a million offers. It really is very particular to each specific house, how it's priced and how it's shown. So this first house, it's a good house, but it was overpriced. Yes, in this market of May of 2022. So you can see here, it was originally priced at $818,000, and it has now been reduced twice. Now it's $759,000. This next house was priced at the higher end, meaning in this neighborhood, the comps showed that the highest priced home was $700,000. So this was priced at just underneath the highest priced home in this neighborhood. And they did sell it a little bit slightly over full price, but only with one offer. So it just shows you the difference between overpriced, still on the market, reducing, priced at the very top, but not over the top. Solid offer, but only one. And now look at this next house. Third house was priced, once again, really well priced within the neighborhood, ended up with 17 offers and went way over asking. Now I'm bringing these 3 houses to your attention because they're all within the same week, within basically the same area, Montgomery County, Maryland, and seeing the way different houses are priced indicates that not every house is going to sell in multiple offers. In fact, some are starting to get price reductions. So you just really have to be very clear on it's specific to each home. At least that's what I'm seeing, working 24/7 in this market, how that home is shown, how it's marketed, and how it's priced. If you have any questions about anything I spoke about today or want to know more about what's happening in my current local market, I'd be happy to talk to you. Just call, email, text. We'll set up a Zoom and we'll talk about it. We have had tremendous success in getting our buyers into their new homes, finding their way home. Sometimes we've had to pivot to different neighborhoods and introduce them to new neighborhoods so they don't have to sacrifice what they really want. And it's been very, very good all around for the buyers that we've worked with. And if you're thinking about selling here as well, it's not just as easy as sticking a sign in front of the house. If you'd like to talk about how we market properties to get you the most money and to settlement seamlessly, send us an email, we'll set up a Zoom, we'll chat. And if you are getting some value out of these videos, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing with a friend. We really appreciate it. It helps with YouTube algorithm and motivates us to make more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!